Hey there, fellow literature explorers. Today, we turn our gaze towards Sonic the Hedgehog 3, 2024, a fantasy action-adventure that offers much more than narrative surface. It's a text rich with thematic complexity, symbolic resonance, and intricate character work that invites rigorous analysis. I'm delighted you've joined me, because in this video, we'll engage in a detailed examination of its cinematic language, narrative structure, and intertextual layers that shape its meaning. The story bursts into life with an opening sequence that shimmers like a kaleidoscope of midnight blue and electric gold. We find our protagonist racing through a metropolis that glitters with neon optimism, crowds parting in awed delight as sonic booms echo through the streets. Yet beneath that exhilaration, there lingers an undercurrent of restlessness, the sense that speed alone cannot outrun the questions churning in a heart seeking purpose. This opening gambit announces the film's dual nature, as an exuberant spectacle and as a meditation on belonging and identity. The city itself is a character, towering spires reaching toward cobalt skies, digital billboards dancing with pixelated life, and alleys where shadowed secrets pulse in sync with the protagonist's quicksilver heartbeat. Here, freedom is both gift and curse, a rush of wind across fur and circuitry that exhilarates even as it threatens disconnection. Our hero, having saved worlds before, wonders if the chase will ever fill the void within. Into this swirl of color and light steps a new challenge, an adversary as cunning as he is ruthless, breathing fear into the bustling streets. We next glimpse the narrative's expanding canvas, one that spans crystalline forests, wind-swept deserts, and hidden ice palaces etched into remote mountaintops. Companions old and new join the quest, an intrepid fox whose mechanical tale hums with unspoken longing, a knightly vigilante whose armor gleams with ancestral pride, and a brilliant scientist whose inventions blur the lines between metal and spirit. Together, they cyclone through dizzying set pieces, gravity-defying chases on hoverboards, skirmishes on the backs of sky whales, and duels beneath the aurora's trembling glow. But this is far more than a straightforward adventure. At its core lies a mystery entwined with myth, a fragmented constellation of artifacts said to contain the echoes of creation itself. Legends claim that those who reunite these relics will unlock the source, a power neither wholly benevolent nor entirely malevolent. Whispers in hidden libraries speak of a time when light and shadow were one, when gods walked beside mortals, and when the heartbeat of the cosmos pulsed through crystalline lenses and mirrored pools. Our protagonist's journey is woven with moments of quiet revelation. In a moonlit clearing, he confronts the ghost of a mentor lost to hubris, who offers a riddle that shatters assumptions, that speed without purpose is flight without direction. In a sun-drenched canyon, he finds a relic half buried in sand, a shard that pulses with memory, showing fleeting visions of worlds unborn and choices yet to be made. Each discovery demands that he confront his deepest fear, that the true enemy may not be the cunning villain poised on a distant throne, but the doubt within his own soul. The film's pacing is a masterclass in tension and release. Moments of thunderous action give way to reflective lulls where characters exchange confidences beside flickering campfires or in the hush of ancient cathedrals. The editing stitches these contrasts together with grace, allowing adrenaline to ebb and flow like tide against shore. Through kinetic montages and lingering close-ups, we sense not just the passage of events but the evolution of hearts. Key thematic threads emerge like constellations in a midnight sky. The interplay of freedom and responsibility, the search for self amid the tumult of destiny, and the fragile alchemy of trust that binds disparate souls together. The fox's mechanical tail, once a symbol of loss, becomes a metaphor for adaptability and hope. The knight's unyielding code of honor clashes with the scientist's open-ended curiosity, prompting reflections on tradition and innovation. And our hero's own speed, his greatest gift, must be tempered by stillness if he is to grasp the source's truth. Pivotal twists lie along the winding path. A council of elders, thought benevolent, reveals fractures born of jealousy and fear. A long-lost sibling, raised in the shadows, crosses blades in a duel that blurs blood and ideology. A fabled utopia, promised as sanctuary, turns out to be hollow, its beauty a facade for exploitation. These turns force our hero to question the very foundations of his quest. What is worth saving, and at what cost? Visually, the film dazzles with a palette that shifts seamlessly from the neon intensity of urban nightscapes to the crystalline serenity of sacred groves. Cinematography employs sweeping drone shots and intimate lenses alike, capturing both the grandeur of world-spanning vistas and the subtle tremor in a character's eye. The mise-en-scene brims with symbolism. Fractured mirrors reflect fractured souls, labyrinthine corridors speak of choices and dead ends, and lingering shots of relics half buried in rubble suggest the interplay of loss and rediscovery. Sound design underscores every heartbeat and hum of machinery, layering orchestral swells with electronic pulses that echo the protagonist's own rhythms. Moments of silence, when wind whispers through leaves or stars wink in silent communion, become charged spaces for reflection. Editing binds sight and sound into a tapestry that envelopes the viewer, making every roar of engines and every hush of wonder a note in a symphony of meaning. The director's auteur signature shines through in these choices, a flair for blending high-octane thrills with contemplative pauses, for weaving intertextual nods to literary myths alongside original invention. References to classical epics mingle with allusions to modern myths, creating a palimpsest of narrative echoes that reward repeated viewing. In an early scene, a line of dialogue mirrors a passage from an ancient tome. Later, a visual motif recalls childhood readings of star-crossed tales. These layers invite us to read the film not only as spectacle but as conversation with cultural inheritance. As we prepare to dive deeper, expect to explore character dynamics in detail, from the hesitant camaraderie between Hedgehog and Fox to the fraught mentorship between hero and scientist. We'll dissect key sequences, examining how editing rhythms propel emotional arcs and how camera angles frame power dynamics. We'll consider how the film engages with themes of agency, legacy, and the interplay of myth and memory. Thank you for joining this introduction. Stay tuned as we embark on a rigorous, story-driven analysis that honors both the film's thrilling surface and its profound depths. Sharp pencils ready, critical minds engaged. Let's begin this exploration of a cinematic journey that races across worlds while delving into the heart's uncharted territories. The story unfolds with an electrifying burst of energy, immediately plunging us into a world where speed and heart collide. Our blue protagonist, already a legend in his own right, finds himself navigating the familiar yet ever-shifting landscape of green hills, a place that feels at once comforting and precarious. Here, beneath the sprawling skies and rolling fields, the film begins to weave its intricate tapestry, setting the stage for a journey that is as much about inner discovery as it is about thrilling escapades. From the outset, Sonic is restless. His life among humans, while peaceful, feels confined, a cage made of predictability. The town, with its quaint streets and friendly faces, contrasts sharply with Sonic's boundless energy and untamed spirit. The film deftly uses this contrast, employing wide shots of serene landscapes juxtaposed with quick, whip-pan camera movements that mirror Sonic's ceaseless motion. This visual language emphasizes the protagonist's internal struggle, a yearning for freedom balanced against the need for connection. Sonic's closest human friend and confidant, Tom, remains a grounding presence. Their bond is portrayed with warmth and authenticity, each interaction revealing layers of trust and shared history. Through their conversations and small moments, coffee shop chats, late-night confessions, the film explores themes of friendship and belonging. Tom's character embodies the anchor Sonic needs, even as the Hedgehog's world is about to spiral into chaos. This balance is shattered with the arrival of a new threat, a shadowy figure whose motives intertwine personal vendettas with cosmic ambitions. The antagonist, shrouded in sleek armor and exuding a cold, calculating menace, arrives with technology and power that challenge Sonic's speed and wit. Their first encounter crackles with tension, an electrifying dance of wit, speed, and strategy that signals the escalating stakes. As this adversary's influence spreads, we witness Sonic's world expand beyond the familiar borders of green hills. The film's narrative pulses outward, transporting our hero and his companions across diverse terrains. Lush forests that whisper ancient secrets, sprawling deserts where mirages blur reality, and towering metropolises shimmering with neon. Each location is more than a backdrop. It is a crucible that tests character, resilience, and resolve. New allies join the fray, each bringing unique strengths and stories. A clever fox with a mechanical tail provides both comic relief and tactical expertise, her quick thinking complementing Sonic's impulsive bravery. Alongside her stands a mysterious warrior, cloaked in armor etched with symbols from a forgotten era, whose stoic demeanor hints at hidden depths and ancient burdens. Their camaraderie evolves through trials, battles, and shared moments of vulnerability, illustrating the film's commitment to layered character dynamics. Central to the narrative is the pursuit of enigmatic artifacts scattered across these varied landscapes. Legends speak of these relics as fragments of the source, a primordial force capable of reshaping reality. The quest for the source drives the plot forward, but it is also a metaphor for self-discovery, power, and the responsibility that accompanies both. The film weaves this quest with moments of wonder and peril. Characters decipher cryptic runes, escape traps set by rival factions, and confront the consequences of unchecked ambition. Interwoven with the high-speed chases and dazzling visuals are quieter, poignant scenes. Sonic grapples with doubts about his place in this sprawling universe, questioning whether speed and spectacle are enough to define a hero. These introspective moments are captured with close-up shots that linger on expressive eyes and subtle gestures, allowing viewers intimate access to the protagonist's emotional landscape. The film also explores the tension between tradition and innovation through its supporting cast. The warrior's adherence to a strict code contrasts with the scientist's inventive, boundary-pushing approach. Their debates, both verbal and physical, reflect broader themes about legacy, change, and the costs of progress. Through these exchanges, the narrative probes what it means to honor the past while forging new paths. Key plot developments escalate steadily. An early betrayal fractures the group's unity, introducing layers of suspicion and heartbreak. The antagonist's plan, initially cloaked in mystery, gradually reveals itself, a bid to harness the Source's power to impose order through control and fear. This revelation sharpens the moral stakes, positioning Sonic not just as a fast-moving rebel but as a beacon of hope for freedom and individuality. The narrative tension is amplified by a series of set-piece confrontations, each more daring and inventive than the last. From dizzying high-speed pursuits weaving through futuristic cityscapes to pulse-pounding battles atop shifting platforms suspended over abyssal depths, the film marries spectacle with storytelling. Choreographed with precision and captured through dynamic cinematography, these sequences are thrilling but never lose sight of their emotional significance. Underlying these external conflicts is Sonic's evolving understanding of heroism. He learns that speed alone cannot save the day. Empathy, trust, and sacrifice are equally vital. This realization is crystallized in moments of crisis where quick reflexes must give way to deliberate choice, when running fast is not enough, and standing firm becomes the true test. As the first arc draws to a close, the film sets the stage for deeper challenges. Allies face new dangers, secrets come to light, and the Source's true nature beckons with promise and peril. The tension between destiny and free will tightens, hinting at future revelations and conflicts that will push characters to their limits. Through this opening journey, the film crafts a compelling balance between exhilarating action and emotional depth, between the familiar and the fantastical, between youthful exuberance and profound questions. It invites audiences not only to cheer for its hero but to ponder the meanings beneath the flash and roar, making every twist and turn a step toward greater understanding. This carefully woven narrative tapestry draws viewers into a world where speed meets soul, where ancient mysteries and modern dilemmas collide. As we move forward, the complexities introduced here promise a rich, rewarding exploration of identity, power, and the enduring quest for belonging in a universe that never stops moving. The film opens with a burst of kinetic energy, a dazzling sequence that immediately immerses us in a world where speed isn't just a gift. It's a defining force shaping every moment. Our protagonist, the legendary Blue Hedgehog, races through the vibrant cityscape of green hills, his silhouette a streak of azure lightning against neon skies. Yet beneath the exhilarating rush lies a restlessness, a subtle tension that speaks to a deeper yearning. Here, in this seemingly idyllic town, he struggles to reconcile his extraordinary abilities with a desire for normalcy, a theme that will ripple throughout the unfolding story. Our protagonist, the legendary Blue Hedgehog, races through the vibrant cityscape of green hills, his silhouette a streak of azure lightning against neon skies. Yet beneath the exhilarating rush lies a restlessness, a subtle tension that speaks to a deeper yearning. Here, in this seemingly idyllic town, he struggles to reconcile his extraordinary abilities with a desire for normalcy, a theme that will ripple throughout the unfolding story. Life in Green Hills feels comfortable yet confining, a place where routines and expectations weigh heavily. Sonic's close friendship with Tom, a kind-hearted and steady presence, offers a sanctuary of familiarity amid the chaos. Their bond is depicted with warmth and nuance, scenes of casual camaraderie, sharing meals, laughing over small mishaps, underscoring the human connection grounding Sonic's extraordinary existence. But even as Sonic finds solace in these moments, an undercurrent of unease grows, foreshadowing the upheaval to come. That disruption arrives in the form of a new adversary, an enigmatic figure whose arrival is heralded by shadows and whispers of a looming threat. Clad in sleek, dark armor that seems almost alive, this antagonist wields advanced technology and cunning intellect, presenting a formidable challenge to Sonic's agility and spirit. Their initial confrontation crackles with intensity, a whirlwind of strategy and speed that sets the stakes high from the outset. As the antagonist's influence begins to spread, Sonic's world expands dramatically. The narrative propels us beyond Green Hills into a series of breathtaking locales. Lush, ancient forests pulsing with hidden magic, vast deserts where the heat distorts reality, and towering mountain fortresses shrouded in mist and legend. Each setting is richly detailed, almost a character itself, with vivid cinematography capturing the texture and mood. These environments become crucibles for testing our heroes' resolve and resourcefulness. Alongside Sonic, a diverse ensemble of allies emerges. Among them is a sharp-witted fox with a mechanical tail whose ingenuity and humor complements Sonic's impulsive bravery. There's also a mysterious knightly figure, armored and stoic, whose presence hints at a legacy entwined with the land's deepest secrets. And a brilliant scientist, whose inventions blur the line between technology and sorcery, adds layers of complexity and intrigue. Their interactions crackle with chemistry and occasional tension, weaving subplots that enrich the narrative tapestry. Central to the story is a quest that threads these characters together, a hunt for ancient relics scattered across the realms. These artifacts, rumored to contain the essence of creation itself, hold the key to unlocking a primal force known as the Source. Legends speak of the Source as a double-edged power, capable of both great creation and devastating destruction. This duality infuses the quest with moral ambiguity, raising questions about ambition, stewardship, and the burdens of power. The film balances its high-octane action with moments of introspection and character development. Sonic grapples with questions of identity and purpose, whether speed alone defines him or if he must embrace a deeper calling. These themes unfold through quiet scenes, reflective walks beneath starlit skies, conversations filled with vulnerability, and encounters with figures from Sonic's past that challenge his understanding of himself. These pauses create emotional depth, inviting viewers to connect beyond spectacle. Tensions rise as the antagonist's machinations become clearer. A shadowy organization, operating from hidden strongholds, seeks to harness the Source for domination, manipulating allies and enemies alike. Betrayals fracture trust, and alliances shift as characters face tests of loyalty and courage. One of the Fox's closest companions is revealed to have divided loyalties, their internal conflict adding complexity to the group's dynamics. Key action sequences punctuate this narrative progression, each more inventive and visually arresting than the last. From gravity-defying races along winding city rooftops to fierce battles atop swirling vortexes of elemental energy, the film crafts a spectacle that is both thrilling and meaningful. Choreographed with precision and shot through dynamic camerawork, these moments embody the tension between chaos and control, speed and strategy. As the characters delve deeper into the mysteries surrounding the Source, they uncover ancient prophecies and cryptic texts hinting at cycles of rise and fall, of heroes shaped by choice and circumstance. These revelations propel Sonic toward a pivotal realization, that his true strength lies not only in his swiftness but in his capacity to inspire, to forge connections, and to embrace responsibility. Throughout this first arc, the film employs a rich visual language. Symbolic imagery recurs. Shards of crystal that catch and refract light, labyrinthine ruins that mirror the character's internal struggles, and motifs of flight and fall that speak to hope and hubris. Lighting shifts to reflect mood, warm glows during moments of friendship, stark contrasts during conflict. The editing rhythm adapts accordingly, accelerating during chases and battles, slowing to linger on emotional beats. The narrative's interplay of lightness and gravity is echoed in its tone. Humor, often dry and self-aware, tempers tension, particularly through the fox's quick wit and Sonic's playful bravado. These moments offer relief without undermining the stakes, deepening engagement through relatability. As the story reaches its midpoint, Sonic and his allies face a critical confrontation, a battle that tests their unity and resolve. The antagonist's forces unveil a devastating weapon powered by fragments of the source, threatening to unbalance the fragile harmony of their world. The ensuing clash is both physical and ideological, forcing characters to confront fears, betrayals, and sacrifices. This confrontation culminates in a narrow escape, but not without cost. Relationships are strained, secrets unearthed, and the true scope of the antagonist's ambition revealed. The film closes this section on a note of both triumph and uncertainty, setting the stage for deeper exploration and heightened stakes. In summary, the film's first arc is a masterful blend of exhilarating action, nuanced character work, and thematic depth. It invites viewers into a richly imagined world where every sprint, every choice, echoes larger questions of identity, power, and belonging. As Sonic races forward, so too does the story unfold. Dynamic, layered, and charged with promise. The journey presses onward, propelled by a surge of urgency and revelation. As the story evolves, our protagonist and his allies find themselves plunged into deeper mysteries and sharper conflicts, each encounter unraveling layers of both external danger and internal struggle. The terrain grows ever more treacherous, not just the physical landscapes, but the emotional and moral ones, where trust is fragile and every choice carries weighty consequences. Emerging from the shadows of their narrow escape, the group must regroup and reassess. The revelations unearthed earlier weigh heavily. The antagonist's ambition to seize the primordial source is no mere power grab, but a quest to reshape reality itself, to impose order through a force that could erase free will. This revelation adds a cosmic dimension to the conflict, elevating the stakes from personal survival to the fate of worlds. Our hero is forced to confront what it means to protect not just himself and his friends, but the very fabric of existence. The bonds among the companions deepen in these crucibles. The fox's mechanical ingenuity becomes vital in decoding ancient mechanisms guarding the remaining relics, while the knight's stoicism is tested by harrowing trials that expose buried vulnerabilities. Meanwhile, the scientist's relentless curiosity drives breakthroughs but also sparks tension, as some question the price of pushing boundaries. Through their interactions, the film probes the tensions between innovation and caution, passion and pragmatism. Amid these developments, the antagonist's shadow looms larger. Manipulating allies and sowing discord, this figure reveals themselves to be more than a mere rival. They are a tragic character shaped by past betrayals and a warped vision of salvation. Their presence is a mirror reflecting the hero's own fears and potential for darkness, adding complexity to the classic hero-villain dichotomy. The narrative unfolds in a series of escalating confrontations. One standout sequence takes place in a labyrinthine fortress suspended high above a storm-racked sea. Here, the characters navigate shifting platforms, hidden traps, and illusions that test their resolve and unity. The cinematography captures dizzying vertigo and claustrophobic tension, interspersed with moments of poignant character reflection. It is a crucible where alliances are forged and fractures laid bare. A major turning point occurs when the hero discovers a hidden truth about the source itself. It is not a monolithic power but a nexus of choices and consequences, reflecting the wielder's intent and heart. This insight reframes the quest, underscoring themes of agency and responsibility. The source is revealed as both a symbol and a test, challenging characters to confront their deepest selves. As the climax builds, a breathtaking chase ensues, an adrenaline-fueled race across fragmented realms where the laws of physics bend and time ripples unpredictably. The hero's speed is pushed to new limits, but it is his courage, empathy, and wisdom that prove decisive. The action is intercut with intimate moments of resolve and reconciliation, heightening emotional impact. In the penultimate confrontation, the protagonist faces the antagonist in a duel that is as much ideological as physical. Their clash is charged with the weight of their intertwined histories and divergent visions. The fight choreography blends raw power with nuanced expression, each strike and parry resonating with narrative significance. The duel setting, a shattered cathedral pulsing with ethereal light, serves as a metaphor for the collision of faith, hope, and despair. The resolution unfolds with careful balance. The antagonist's defeat is not a simple triumph but a poignant reckoning, tempered by understanding and forgiveness. The source's power is neither claimed nor destroyed but entrusted to those who recognize its fragility and potential. This ending emphasizes renewal over conquest, unity over division. The film closes on a note of hopeful uncertainty. The characters stand amid ruins that hint at both destruction and new beginnings. Sonic, now more aware of his own depths and limits, embraces a path that honors speed as both gift and responsibility. His friendships, tested and strengthened, point toward continued journeys and evolving bonds. Visually and thematically, the final sequences are rich with symbolism. Repeated motifs, fractured crystals, converging paths, flickering flames, evoke cycles of loss and rebirth. The cinematography shifts between expansive vistas and intimate close-ups, reflecting the narrative's sweep and personal stakes. The score swells and recedes, mirroring the characters' emotional arcs. Throughout, the film's editing maintains a rhythmic balance, weaving fast-paced action with moments of quiet reflection. The sound design amplifies tension and release, from the thunderous roar of engines to the soft rustle of leaves stirred by a gentle breeze. These sensory elements envelop viewers, sustaining immersion to the final frame. In its unfolding, the story transcends its genre trappings. It becomes a meditation on the complexities of heroism, the courage to confront not just external foes but inner shadows, the wisdom to wield power with humility, and the grace to forge connections that transcend difference. It reminds us that speed alone cannot save the day. It is heart, mind, and spirit combined that truly define a hero. As the credits roll, the lingering questions and open-ended possibilities invite reflection. The narrative's rich tapestry, woven with threads of myth, friendship, sacrifice, and hope, resonates beyond the screen. It challenges viewers to consider their own journeys, the choices that shape them, and the sources of strength found in connection and conviction. Thus, the story reaches its conclusion, not as an end, but as a gateway to new adventures and deeper understanding. It leaves us racing forward, hearts quickened, minds awakened, ready to explore the uncharted territories that lie ahead within the vibrant and fast-moving world of this film. The characters pulse with life and complexity, each one embodying themes and emotional textures that transcend the surface spectacle. The protagonist, a figure of mythic speed and restless spirit, carries within him the paradox of boundless freedom tempered by a yearning for belonging. His journey is not simply one of physical adventure, but a profound exploration of identity, purpose, and connection. Our hero's signature speed is both his greatest strength and his source of inner conflict. It sets him apart, making him a figure of awe and isolation. Throughout the narrative, we see how this ability shapes his worldview. He moves faster than most can comprehend, yet struggles to keep pace with his own emotions and relationships. The film deftly portrays this duality through nuanced expressions and moments of quiet vulnerability amid the kinetic energy. His sharp wit and playful bravado mask deeper fears. Fear of being alone, fear of failing those he cares about, and fear of losing himself. Supporting this central figure is a fox whose mechanical tail symbolizes resilience and adaptation. This character is a blend of ingenuity and heart, her technical prowess matched by a keen emotional intelligence. Her background hints at loss and survival, and she carries scars both visible and hidden. Through her interactions with the protagonist, the film explores themes of trust and partnership, showcasing how differences can become strengths when embraced with openness. Her humor and pragmatism provide a grounding counterbalance to the hedgehog's impulsiveness, creating a dynamic that evolves from wary alliance to deep friendship. Another pillar of the group is a knightly warrior, whose stoicism and adherence to an ancient code lend gravity and tension. This character embodies tradition and honor, yet beneath the armor lies a struggle with duty and personal desire. His journey is one of reconciliation, between past and present, obligation and freedom. His interactions, especially with the scientist, spark compelling debates about progress and preservation, reflecting larger cultural dialogues. The knight's presence evokes archetypes of chivalry while complicating them, offering a portrait of a hero wrestling with the weight of legacy. The scientist herself is a figure of brilliance and curiosity, her mind a whirlwind of invention and possibility. She represents the relentless human drive to understand and reshape the world, pushing boundaries both technological and ethical. Her character arc involves balancing ambition with empathy, as she confronts the unintended consequences of her creations. Through her, the film probes questions of control and chaos, of whether knowledge is power or peril. Her nuanced portrayal avoids caricature, presenting a woman whose strengths and flaws mirror the complexity of the world she inhabits. Antagonists in the story are layered with motivations that transcend simple villainy. The primary adversary, cloaked in sleek armor and veiled in mystery, is revealed as a tragic figure shaped by loss and distorted ideals. Their pursuit of the source reflects a desire for order and redemption, albeit through coercion and domination. This antagonist challenges the protagonist not only in physical contests but in philosophical terms, embodying the seductive allure of absolute power and the dangers it entails. Their interactions crackle with tension, underscoring themes of choice, consequence, and the fine line between heroism and tyranny. Secondary antagonists and rival factions add texture and complexity, each with distinct goals and ideologies. These characters broaden the narrative landscape, reflecting the fractured world the hero must navigate. Their varying shades of morality enrich the story, illustrating how conflict often arises from competing visions rather than clear-cut good and evil. The relationships among these characters form the emotional core of the film. Friendships are tested and forged in the crucible of adversity, revealing the transformative power of trust and loyalty. Moments of camaraderie, shared meals, quiet conversations, playful banter, humanize these figures, reminding us that even in fantastical worlds, connection is vital. Romantic tensions and unspoken affections add further layers, deepening character motivations and stakes. Family and legacy emerge as powerful undercurrents. The protagonist's reflections on his past, encounters with figures linked to his origins, and confrontations with those claiming kinship invite explorations of identity beyond the individual. These threads examine how history shapes destiny, and how embracing or rejecting one's roots influences the path forward. Symbolism permeates character design and development. The protagonist's blue hue and lightning motifs echo themes of vitality, change, and electric energy coursing through life. The fox's mechanical tail symbolizes adaptation in a changing world, a melding of nature and technology. The knight's armor reflects both protection and constraint, a metaphor for the burdens of tradition. These visual cues enrich narrative understanding, providing layers that reward close attention. Voice performances breathe further life into the characters, conveying nuance through tone, inflection, and rhythm. The lead's blend of youthful exuberance and introspective depth anchors the film, while supporting voices bring distinct personalities and emotional textures. The dialogue, laced with humor, wisdom, and occasional poignancy, shapes character identity and relational dynamics. Character arcs unfold with care and complexity. The protagonist's evolution from impulsive outsider to thoughtful leader mirrors the film's thematic journey toward balance and self-awareness. Allies grapple with fears, hopes, and betrayals, each transformation reflecting broader questions about growth and resilience. Antagonist stories reveal the costs of power pursued without compassion, inviting empathy even as they oppose the hero. In sum, the film's characters are a rich constellation, their interplay a dance of contrasts and complements. They embody universal themes through the lens of an extraordinary world, inviting audiences to reflect on the nature of identity, choice, and connection. Their journeys intertwine to create a narrative tapestry that is as emotionally compelling as it is thrilling, grounding spectacle in the enduring power of human and heroic experience. The making of this film is a story as fascinating and unpredictable as the whirlwind journey it portrays on screen. Behind the dazzling spectacle and intricate narrative lies a tapestry of unexpected events, quirky anecdotes, and creative gambits that shape the production in surprising ways. Exploring these behind-the-scenes details not only reveals the sheer ambition and resourcefulness of the filmmakers but also illuminates the human spirit that animates the machinery of movie-making. One of the most unusual aspects of the production was the decision to film many scenes in actual, remote locations rather than relying heavily on CGI or soundstage sets. The filmmakers sought authenticity in texture and atmosphere, traveling to diverse and often challenging environments that mirrored the film's shifting landscapes, from dense, humid forests to arid, wind-swept deserts. This commitment to real-world locations brought with it a host of unexpected complications. For instance, the crew encountered sudden tropical storms that forced rapid changes in shooting schedules and creative solutions to preserve continuity. On one memorable day, a downpour flooded entire sections of the set, but instead of delaying, the director chose to incorporate the rain into the scene, adding an unplanned but stunning visual dimension that enhanced the story's emotional weight. In the midst of these natural challenges, a peculiar incident unfolded involving one of the film's mechanical props, a large, intricately designed vehicle central to a major chase sequence. During a rehearsal, the vehicle's control system malfunctioned, causing it to veer off course and narrowly avoid a group of crew members. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but the incident prompted an immediate overhaul of safety protocols. This near miss became a cautionary tale on set, a reminder of the fine line between cinematic thrills and real-world danger, and it brought the crew closer as they navigated the risks inherent in their craft. Another strange and endearing production story centers on the lead actor's relationship with a particularly spirited animal co-star. A trained falcon featured prominently in several key scenes, its grace and agility symbolizing freedom and destiny. However, the bird proved temperamental, occasionally flying off course or perching stubbornly in inconvenient places. On one occasion, it landed on the actor's head during a take, eliciting both surprise and laughter that broke tension and became a fondly remembered moment. The actor later joked in interviews about his feathered nemesis, highlighting how these unpredictable interactions brought a sense of spontaneity and warmth to the set. The design and creation of the film's iconic artifacts, ancient relics imbued with cosmic power, also involved unusual methods. Prop makers employed a blend of traditional sculpting and modern 3D printing, but the textures and colors were achieved through a process inspired by natural mineral formation. One prop artist spent weeks experimenting with mineral salts and chemical treatments to replicate the shimmering, crystalline effect that became a hallmark of the film's visual language. This painstaking attention to detail was so effective that some viewers reportedly believed the relics were genuine ancient objects, a testament to the craftsmanship involved. The soundtrack's development harbors its own intriguing stories. The composer, tasked with blending orchestral grandeur with futuristic electronic elements, traveled to remote locations to record indigenous musicians playing traditional instruments. This collaboration enriched the score with authentic textures, connecting the film's fantastical elements to real-world cultural roots. One recording session took place in a mountain village where the crew was welcomed with a local festival, turning the studio time into an impromptu celebration of music and community. These moments infused the soundtrack with an organic vitality that resonates throughout the film. Behind the camera, a notable technical innovation was the use of custom-built rigs to capture the protagonist's signature speed. Traditional motion capture techniques fell short of conveying the lightning-fast agility required, prompting the visual effects team to develop lightweight, high-speed camera drones capable of weaving through tight spaces with remarkable precision. This technology allowed for dynamic shots that immerse viewers in the sensation of blinding velocity, pushing the boundaries of what had been visually possible in the genre. A peculiar casting anecdote involves a supporting actor whose initial audition took place under unconventional circumstances. Legend has it that during a routine break, the actor spontaneously delivered an impromptu monologue, captivating the casting directors despite not being scheduled to audition. This serendipitous moment led to the actor's casting, and their performance has since been lauded for adding unexpected depth and humor to the narrative. Throughout the shoot, the cast and crew faced the ever-present challenge of balancing intense action sequences with moments of genuine emotional connection. To maintain morale during grueling days, the production organized impromptu events, ranging from talent shows to communal dinners under starlit skies. One evening, a surprise visit by a renowned musician turned a routine break into an unforgettable jam session, further bonding the team and inspiring a renewed creative energy. Environmental concerns also shaped production decisions in unique ways. The filmmakers implemented a comprehensive green initiative, striving to minimize waste and energy use despite the demands of a large-scale shoot. This commitment led to inventive solutions, such as repurposing set materials into community projects and using solar-powered equipment where feasible. Local communities where filming took place were engaged in sustainability efforts, creating a legacy beyond the screen. Some trivia reveals surprising connections between this film and other works. A certain line of dialogue references an obscure mythological text that inspired a beloved classic fantasy series, a subtle nod that delighted attentive fans and scholars. Additionally, several crew members had previously worked on iconic science fiction films, bringing a cross-pollination of ideas and techniques that enriched the production's creative palette. The post-production phase brought its own share of curious tales. During editing, the team experimented with multiple endings, each offering different tonal emphases, from hopeful to ambiguous. Test screenings guided the final choice, with audiences responding most strongly to a resolution that balanced closure with open-ended possibility. This iterative process underscored the filmmaker's dedication to crafting a narrative that resonates emotionally while inviting continued reflection. Sound mixing sessions featured playful moments as well. The engineers, aiming to capture the unique sounds of the film's fantastical creatures, resorted to creative Foley work, blending animal calls, human vocalizations, and electronic effects. One memorable experiment involved using a rubber chicken as a base for an alien creature's vocalizations, a humorous detail that became an inside joke among the sound team. In sum, the making of this film was a mosaic of deliberate artistry, serendipitous moments, and human connection. The strange and wonderful stories behind the scenes enrich our appreciation, reminding us that every frame carries the imprint of countless hands, hearts, and imaginations. These facts and anecdotes offer a window into the remarkable journey from script to screen, where the extraordinary emerges not just from fantasy but from the unpredictable alchemy of collaboration and creativity. The film's narrative unfolds through a series of pivotal events that do more than drive the plot. They act as prisms refracting its deeper themes and emotional currents. These moments, carefully constructed and rich in symbolic weight, invite critical engagement, compelling viewers to reflect not only on what is happening but on why it matters. Analyzing these events through a critical lens reveals how the film's storytelling transcends spectacle, engaging with questions of identity, power, and morality in ways that resonate profoundly. One of the earliest and most significant events is the protagonist's reluctant return to a world of conflict. This decision is not portrayed as a straightforward heroic choice but as a fraught reckoning with responsibility and loss. From a critical perspective, it echoes archetypal narratives of the reluctant hero but is nuanced by an undercurrent of trauma and ambivalence. The protagonist's hesitation and inner turmoil disrupt conventional action tropes, inviting audiences to consider the costs of heroism beyond physical valor. This event sets the tonal foundation for the film, balancing kinetic energy with emotional complexity. The arrival of the antagonist marks another critical juncture. This figure is more than a mere foil. Their layered motivations and ideological convictions challenge simplistic binaries of good versus evil. Through their actions and backstory, the film critiques the allure of absolute power and the consequences of its pursuit. The antagonist embodies a vision of order imposed through control, contrasting sharply with the protagonist's valorization of freedom and individuality. This ideological clash plays out in key confrontations that serve as microcosms of broader societal tensions, offering viewers a space to interrogate themes of authority, rebellion, and ethical governance. A particularly rich moment for critical analysis is the discovery and pursuit of the source, the enigmatic power that drives much of the narrative. The The source functions as a symbol of creation, destruction, and the ambiguous nature of power itself. The film's portrayal of this relic complexly entwines technology and myth, science and spirituality, inviting interpretations that touch on humanity's fraught relationship with control over nature and fate. The quest for the source raises questions about agency and destiny, suggesting that power is not inherently good or evil but is shaped by those who wield it. Character dynamics, especially among the core group, offer fertile ground for critical inquiry. The evolving relationship between the protagonist and the Fox character, for example, foregrounds themes of trust, resilience, and the negotiation of difference. Their partnership challenges traditional gender and species archetypes, presenting a fluid and egalitarian model of alliance. The scientist and the knight's dialogues further enrich this discourse, embodying tensions between progress and tradition, innovation and preservation. These interactions mirror real-world debates about cultural heritage, technological advancement, and ethical boundaries, grounding the fantastical narrative in contemporary relevance. The film's major action sequences, often celebrated for their visual flair, also warrant critical attention for how they embody thematic concerns. Chase scenes and battles are choreographed not merely for spectacle but to reflect internal character states and moral stakes. For instance, a sequence where the protagonist races through a shifting urban landscape serves as a metaphor for navigating the complexities of identity and choice in a world in flux. The frenetic pacing and disorienting camera work evoke the tension between control and chaos, mirroring the narrative's exploration of order and freedom. Such sequences invite viewers to experience the story viscerally while engaging intellectually with its undercurrents. Pivotal plot twists contribute significantly to the film's emotional and thematic impact. A betrayal within the group, revealed midway, destabilizes established trust and forces characters into reckoning with their own vulnerabilities and prejudices. Critically, this event challenges simplistic notions of loyalty, illustrating how betrayal can stem from fear, misunderstanding, or conflicting loyalties rather than mere malice. This nuanced portrayal fosters empathy and complexity, encouraging audiences to consider the multifaceted nature of human relationships. The climax's ideological duel between protagonist and antagonist crystallizes the film's central conflicts. This confrontation transcends physical combat to become a dialogue about vision, values, and the costs of power. The setting, a fractured cathedral illuminated by ethereal light, symbolically frames this encounter as a reckoning not just between individuals but between competing worldviews. The fight choreography balances raw energy with moments of stillness and symbolic gestures, inviting viewers to interpret the battle as both literal and allegorical. From a critical standpoint, this scene encapsulates the film's engagement with themes of faith, sacrifice, and redemption. Resolution in the film is deliberately ambivalent, eschewing neat closure in favor of openness and reflection. The source's fate remains uncertain, entrusted to those who recognize its fragility and potential for both good and ill. This ending aligns with contemporary narrative trends that favor complexity over simplicity, inviting ongoing interpretation and dialogue. Emotionally, it underscores themes of hope tempered by caution, suggesting that true power lies in humility and collective stewardship rather than domination. The film's reception reflects its thematic and emotional resonance. Audiences and critics alike have noted its ability to blend thrilling spectacle with thoughtful exploration of complex ideas. Discussions around the film often highlight its nuanced characters, moral ambiguity, and willingness to confront difficult questions about identity and power. Such responses indicate a cultural appetite for narratives that challenge as well as entertain, reaffirming the film's place within a broader discourse on contemporary storytelling. Moreover, the film's engagement with intertextuality and mythic structures has sparked scholarly interest. Its layering of references, from classical epics to modern science fiction, creates a palimpsest inviting varied readings. This intertextual richness enriches the viewing experience, rewarding repeat engagement and deep analysis. Themes of transformation, sacrifice, and cyclical renewal resonate across cultural narratives, situating the film within enduring human concerns. In conclusion, the film's significant events function as more than plot mechanics. They are narrative vessels carrying profound thematic and emotional freight. Through critical examination, these moments reveal the film's layered storytelling, its challenge to genre conventions, and its dialogue with cultural and philosophical ideas. This depth contributes to its lasting impact and invites viewers to engage not only with the story's surface thrills but with the complex questions it poses about heroism, power, and the human condition. The making of this film was a monumental undertaking, a fusion of artistic vision, technological innovation, and sheer human determination that together crafted a cinematic experience as vibrant and exhilarating as the story it tells. Behind the camera, a tapestry of creative minds and skilled hands wove together an intricate dance of challenges and triumphs, revealing that the magic of the screen is born not only of imagination but of relentless effort and unexpected moments of joy. The filmmaking process began long before the cameras rolled, with an extensive pre-production phase dedicated to world building and character development. The director, known for a meticulous eye and a passion for blending spectacle with substance, collaborated closely with writers, designers, and visual effects teams to create a cohesive universe that felt both fantastical and tangible. Storyboarding sessions became dynamic workshops, where sequences were not just plotted but felt, with animatics and concept art bringing to life the kinetic energy that would define the film. One of the most fascinating aspects of the production was the decision to blend cutting-edge CGI with practical effects and on-location shooting. Rather than relying solely on digital environments, the crew sought authentic textures by filming in diverse natural landscapes, from dense forests dripping with mist to windswept deserts shimmering under relentless sun. This choice introduced logistical complexities. Transporting heavy equipment over rugged terrain required ingenuity and perseverance. Yet the resulting footage carries a visceral realism that grounds the fantasy, enveloping audiences in worlds that breathe and pulse with life. Behind the scenes, the camaraderie among the crew was as vital as the technical prowess. Tales abound of long, grueling days punctuated by laughter and spontaneous celebrations. One memorable anecdote involves a midnight feast thrown to celebrate the completion of a particularly demanding stunt sequence. The catering team surprised everyone with a lavish spread, and soon the sound stages echoed with music and dancing, a joyous release that recharged spirits and forged bonds. The stunt work itself demanded extraordinary skill and coordination. The lead actor, fully committed to embodying the physicality of a hero defined by speed and agility, trained intensively for months before filming. Working alongside seasoned stunt coordinators and martial artists, he mastered complex choreography that balanced realism with cinematic flair. During one particularly ambitious sequence, involving a high-speed chase through a labyrinthine urban environment, the team employed innovative wirework and harness systems, carefully rehearsed to ensure both safety and spectacle. The stunt work itself demanded extraordinary skill and coordination. The lead actor, fully committed to embodying the physicality of a hero defined by speed and agility, trained intensively for months before filming. Working alongside seasoned stunt coordinators and martial artists, he mastered complex choreography that balanced realism with cinematic flair. During one particularly ambitious sequence, involving a high-speed chase through a labyrinthine urban environment, the team employed innovative wirework and harness systems, carefully rehearsed to ensure both safety and spectacle. The resulting scenes pulsate with energy, the seamless blend of human movement and camera dynamics creating a palpable sense of velocity. The visual effects department pushed technological boundaries, developing custom software to simulate the protagonist's lightning-fast movements and the surreal distortions of time and space required months of experimentation. The team collaborated closely with animators and cinematographers, ensuring that digital enhancements complemented rather than overwhelmed live-action footage. An unexpected breakthrough occurred when an intern suggested a novel particle effect inspired by the natural shimmer of sunlight on water, which became a signature visual motif for speed and power throughout the film. Costume design was another arena of creativity and challenge. The protagonist's iconic blue suit underwent multiple iterations to balance aesthetic appeal with practical considerations. Materials were sourced for their flexibility, breathability, and durability, allowing the actor to perform demanding stunts comfortably. Details such as reflective accents and subtle circuitry patterns were integrated to evoke a sense of advanced technology and vitality. Similarly, the antagonist's armor was crafted from layers of lightweight composites, designed to suggest menace without restricting movement. The costume team collaborated with prosthetics artists to add textures and effects that enhanced the otherworldly qualities of various characters. The film's soundscape was crafted through a combination of location recordings, inventive Foley artistry, and a richly textured score. Sound designers traveled with the crew to capture ambient noises, rustling leaves, distant thunder, urban hum, that would later be woven into the auditory tapestry. Foley artists recreated the unique sounds of footsteps, impacts, and mechanical devices in studio settings, sometimes resorting to unconventional methods such as manipulating everyday objects to produce novel effects. The composer blended orchestral swells with electronic pulses, drawing inspiration from both classical motifs and contemporary music trends, resulting in a soundtrack that is at once timeless and fresh. Editing played a pivotal role in shaping the film's rhythm and emotional resonance. The editors worked closely with the director, navigating a vast array of footage, from high-speed action sequences to intimate character moments, to find a balance that sustained narrative momentum while allowing space for reflection. They experimented with pacing, sometimes juxtaposing rapid cuts with lingering shots to evoke tension and release. One notable challenge was integrating complex visual effects seamlessly with live action, requiring meticulous frame-by-frame adjustments and creative problem-solving. A delightful behind-the-scenes anecdote involves an unexpected cameo by a well-known musician who visited the set during filming in an urban location. Captivated by the energy and creativity, they spontaneously contributed a vocal improvisation that was later woven into a pivotal scene's soundtrack, adding an unplanned layer of emotional depth and connection. This moment underscores the collaborative and often serendipitous nature of filmmaking, where inspiration can arise from the most unexpected encounters. The production's commitment to inclusivity and cultural sensitivity also shaped many creative decisions. Consultants from various backgrounds advised on depictions of mythology, technology, and character interactions, ensuring respect and authenticity. This engagement enriched the narrative, allowing it to resonate more deeply with diverse audiences and fostering an environment of learning and mutual respect on set. Technical challenges abounded. Filming complex sequences in low light required innovative lighting solutions that preserved mood without compromising visibility. The team developed custom rigs and filters, balancing practical and digital techniques. Weather unpredictability sometimes forced rescheduling, but the crew's flexibility and problem-solving ensured minimal disruption. In post-production, color grading was instrumental in crafting the film's visual tone. By manipulating hues and contrasts, colorists enhanced thematic elements, cool blues and purples for moments of introspection, warm golds and reds for scenes of intensity and transformation. This subtle artistry contributed significantly to the audience's emotional journey. Marketing and promotion involved a creative synergy between the filmmakers and fans. Interactive campaigns invited audiences to engage with the film's universe through augmented reality experiences and exclusive behind-the-scenes content. These initiatives built anticipation and deepened fan investment, demonstrating a savvy understanding of contemporary media landscapes. In conclusion, the film's creation was a remarkable convergence of artistry, technology, and human spirit. From the visionary leadership of the director to the dedication of every crew member, from the innovative use of technology to moments of joyous spontaneity, the production process mirrors the film's themes of speed, connection, and transformation. These behind-the-scenes stories enrich our appreciation, reminding us that the magic on screen is born from countless acts of creativity, collaboration, and resilience. The world of this film unfolds not merely as a backdrop, but as a living, breathing entity, one that pulses with color, texture, and emotion, shaping every moment of the narrative and enriching its thematic depth. From sweeping vistas to intimate corners, the settings are meticulously crafted and chosen to evoke a sense of wonder and urgency, grounding the fantastical elements in palpable reality. This interplay between environment and story invites the viewer into a universe where place and plot are inseparable, each amplifying the other in a symphony of visual storytelling. The journey begins in Green Hills, a town that feels both idyllic and precariously balanced between the mundane and the extraordinary. Cinematographically, this setting is rendered with warm, golden hues that bathe rolling fields and quaint streets in nostalgic light. Wide-angle shots capture the expanse of the landscape. Soft hills rolling under vast skies, evoking a sense of peace and possibility. Yet, subtle framing choices hint at underlying tension. A shadow cast just beyond the frame, a sudden shift in lighting that darkens an otherwise serene scene. This visual duality mirrors the protagonist's internal conflict, the desire for calm juxtaposed with the restless energy that defines him. As the narrative propels forward, the environments shift dramatically, mirroring the expanding scope of the quest. The lush forests that follow are filmed with a painterly eye, capturing dappled sunlight filtering through dense canopies, leaves trembling in gentle breezes. Handheld cameras and fluid tracking shots weave through undergrowth and towering trunks. As the narrative propels forward, the environments shift dramatically, mirroring the expanding scope of the quest. The lush forests that follow are filmed with a painterly eye, capturing dappled sunlight filtering through dense canopies, leaves trembling in gentle breezes. Handheld cameras and fluid tracking shots weave through undergrowth and towering trunks, immersing the viewer in a labyrinthine world teeming with life and mystery. The forest is not just a setting but a metaphor for the unknown paths ahead, a space where characters confront both external dangers and inner uncertainties. The deserts encountered are a study in stark contrasts. Cinematography here employs high-contrast lighting, the blinding sun casting sharp shadows across undulating dunes. The camera lingers on textures, the granular sand shifting underfoot, heat waves distorting horizons, creating a tactile sense of isolation and endurance. These scenes are punctuated by wide, sweeping shots that emphasize the vastness and emptiness, underscoring themes of solitude and the daunting expanse of the journey. The desert's harsh beauty becomes a crucible, testing the character's resilience and resolve. Mountaintop fortresses introduce an architectural and symbolic dimension to the settings. Filmed with a mix of drone footage and carefully composed still shots, these ancient strongholds rise majestically above clouds, their stone walls etched with time and legend. The muted color palette, grays, blues, and cold whites, conveys austerity and endurance. Interiors are framed with a play of shadow and light, corridors narrowing and opening into grand halls that echo with history. These spaces embody tradition, duty, and the weight of legacy, reflecting the internal struggles of characters bound by codes older than memory. Urban environments burst with energy and complexity. Neon lights pulse against rain-slicked streets, reflections fracturing the scene into kaleidoscopic patterns. Dynamic camera movements, swift pans, whip pans, and inventive crane shots capture the chaos and rhythm of city life. The interplay of light and shadow, glass and steel, conveys themes of modernity and alienation. These settings underscore the tension between technological progress and human connection, providing a vibrant arena for the narrative's climax. Throughout these varied locations, the mise-en scene is layered with symbolic elements. Fractured mirrors and crystalline shards recur, representing fragmented identity and the multifaceted nature of truth. Labyrinthine passageways and winding paths echo themes of choice and consequence, inviting reflection on the characters' journeys both literal and metaphorical. Natural elements, flowing water, flickering flames, shifting clouds, punctuate scenes with rhythm and mood, linking the human story to the elemental forces of the world. Lighting design plays a pivotal role in sculpting the film's atmosphere. Warm, diffuse light softens scenes of friendship and hope, creating a sense of intimacy and safety. In contrast, sharp, directional lighting heightens tension in moments of conflict and uncertainty, casting long shadows that hint at hidden dangers. Color temperature shifts subtly throughout, guiding emotional tone. Cool blues and purples in scenes of introspection and mystery, fiery reds and oranges in moments of passion and peril. These choices imbue the visual narrative with emotional resonance. The cinematography employs a sophisticated palette of techniques to shape the viewer's experience. Long takes allow the story's rhythm to breathe, drawing audiences into immersive environments and character interactions. Contrastingly, rapid cuts and dynamic zooms accelerate pacing during action sequences, conveying urgency and chaos. The use of depth of field directs focus, isolating characters in moments of vulnerability or emphasizing group dynamics in scenes of alliance and conflict. Camera angles vary from soaring overhead vistas that evoke grandeur and isolation, to tight close-ups that reveal subtle emotional shifts. Visual effects are integrated with precision and subtlety, enhancing rather than overwhelming the practical settings. Particles of light shimmer in mystical scenes, digital augmentations seamlessly blend with natural elements, and carefully crafted CGI creatures inhabit the landscapes with believable texture and movement. This synthesis of real and imagined worlds creates a cinematic language that feels both grounded and expansive. Sound design complements the visual palette, enriching setting and mood. Ambient sounds, rustling leaves, distant thunder, city hum, anchor scenes in sensory reality. Layered soundscapes evoke the emotional tenor of locations. The whispering wind in forests, the relentless heat in deserts, the reverberating echoes in ancient halls. Musical motifs tied to specific settings deepen narrative cohesion, guiding viewers' emotional journey through shifts in tempo, instrumentation, and harmony. Costume and set design further reinforce the film's world building. Textures, colors, and materials are carefully chosen to reflect character and setting. Earthy tones and organic fabrics dominate natural environments, while sleek metals and synthetic fabrics appear in urban and technological contexts. Props and artifacts are imbued with symbolic detail, their wear and craftsmanship telling stories of history, culture, and conflict. The integration of cultural influences into setting design adds richness and authenticity. Architectural styles, motifs, and color schemes draw inspiration from diverse traditions, reflecting a world that is at once fantastical and resonant with real-world histories. This blending honors the film's themes of unity and diversity, suggesting that the characters' journeys are part of a larger, interconnected narrative. Throughout, the film's visual storytelling is characterized by a rhythmic interplay of movement and stillness. Scenes unfold with a cinematic tempo that mirrors narrative tension. Moments of frenetic action give way to pauses that invite reflection and emotional connection. This balance sustains engagement, allowing viewers to absorb both spectacle and subtlety. In sum, the film's settings and cinematic elements form an immersive canvas that shapes and amplifies the story's emotional and thematic core. Through deliberate choices in location, lighting, composition, and sound, the filmmakers create a world that is richly textured and evocative. A world that invites viewers not only to witness but to inhabit, experiencing the narrative's pulse through every shadow, color, and breath of wind. This careful crafting transforms setting from mere backdrop into an active participant in the storytelling, elevating the film into a multisensory journey that lingers long after the final frame. The heartbeat of any film often lies not just in the final cut but in the untold stories whispered behind the camera. The laughter shared during long shoots, the unexpected challenges that test the resolve of cast and crew, and the moments of genuine connection that transform a group of individuals into a creative family. In this production, those behind-the-scenes narratives form a rich tapestry, revealing the human dimension beneath the spectacle and offering a window into the grit and grace that shaped the film's journey. From the earliest days on set, a spirit of camaraderie and playful competition permeated the atmosphere. The lead actor, known for his boundless energy and infectious enthusiasm, quickly became a catalyst for morale. He often initiated impromptu games and contests during breaks, from light-hearted races that echoed his character's signature speed to quirky trivia challenges testing knowledge of the film's lore. These moments, while seemingly small, forged bonds among the cast and crew, fostering a sense of shared purpose and joy that carried through the grueling schedule. One memorable incident involved an elaborate prank orchestrated by the supporting cast. They rigged a prop weapon to emit a harmless but startling burst of confetti when triggered, catching the lead actor by surprise during a rehearsal. The ensuing laughter echoed through the soundstage, diffusing tension and reminding everyone of the importance of levity amidst high stakes. Stories like this recurred throughout filming, punctuating intense work with bursts of spontaneity and warmth. The relationships among actors were marked by genuine affection and mutual respect. The dynamic between the protagonist and the Fox character, played by performers with contrasting styles, evolved from tentative acquaintance into a seamless partnership. Off-camera, they spent hours discussing character motivations, rehearsing dialogue, and even sharing meals that became informal workshops. This collaborative spirit translated on-screen into authentic chemistry, enriching their scenes with layered emotion and natural rapport. The knightly warrior and scientist actors, though portraying characters often at odds, cultivated a friendship rooted in intellectual curiosity and humor. They engaged in spirited debates during downtime, sometimes reenacting scenes to explore alternative interpretations. These explorations deepened their understanding of narrative nuance and added subtle textures to their performances. Their interactions underscore how creative tension, when embraced with openness, can spark innovation. Behind the camera, the director's leadership style was both rigorous and nurturing. Known for meticulous preparation, the director balanced exacting standards with flexibility, encouraging experimentation and improvisation. On one occasion, a planned dialogue scene evolved spontaneously when the lead actor introduced an off-script line, eliciting genuine laughter from the cast and crew and leading to its inclusion in the final cut. This openness fostered an environment where creativity flourished and unexpected moments of magic were captured. The physical demands of filming action sequences presented ongoing challenges. The lead actor undertook extensive physical training to perform stunts authentically, often rehearsing for hours to perfect complex choreography. Safety was paramount, and the stunt team implemented innovative harnesses and rigging techniques to allow dynamic movements while minimizing risk. A notable challenge arose during a high-speed chase scene filmed on uneven terrain. Inclement weather complicated logistics, but through adaptive planning and collaboration, the team executed the sequence with precision and flair. Technical crews also faced hurdles, especially in integrating practical effects with digital enhancements. One particularly complex sequence required synchronizing pyrotechnics with CGI elements in real time, demanding meticulous timing and coordination. The visual effects supervisor recounted how the team conducted numerous dry runs and employed custom software tools to achieve seamless blending. Their perseverance transformed potential obstacles into opportunities for creative breakthroughs. Set design and construction involved inventive problem-solving. Building a sprawling fortress perched atop a mountain required modular components that could be assembled on location despite limited access and unpredictable weather. The art department collaborated closely with engineers and local experts, devising solutions that balanced aesthetic ambition with structural integrity. During filming, sudden storms threatened to damage delicate set pieces, but swift action by the crew preserved the environment and ensured continuity. Costume departments confronted their own trials. Crafting suits that balanced visual impact with wearer comfort was a complex endeavor. For the protagonist's iconic outfit, materials were sourced for flexibility and breathability, but frequent physical sequences tested durability. Tailors and fabric specialists worked in shifts to repair and reinforce costumes between takes. Actors often expressed gratitude for this attention, recognizing that their performances depended on these unseen efforts. The film's music production featured moments of surprise and delight. The composer invited local musicians to contribute authentic sounds, resulting in spontaneous jam sessions during recording. One such session featured an unexpected duet between a traditional instrumentalist and an electronic music producer, blending ancient melodies with futuristic beats. This fusion added richness to the soundtrack, embodying the film's themes of bridging worlds and times. Throughout the shoot, environmental consciousness was a guiding principle. The production implemented sustainable practices, from recycling set materials to reducing energy consumption. Cast and crew participated in community outreach programs, planting trees and supporting local conservation efforts. These initiatives fostered a sense of responsibility and connection to the locations that hosted the film's worlds. Post-production presented its own saga. Editors faced the daunting task of weaving together sprawling footage into a coherent, emotionally resonant whole. One editor recounted late-night sessions fueled by coffee and dedication, balancing narrative clarity with visual spectacle. Sound mixers and colorists collaborated closely to enhance mood and tone, experimenting with palettes and audio textures to perfect the final vision. A particularly heartwarming behind-the-scenes tale involves a visit from fans during filming. Local communities near shooting locations organized gatherings, presenting cast and crew with handmade gifts and expressions of appreciation. These interactions touched the team deeply, reinforcing the impact of their work beyond the screen and inspiring renewed commitment. In sum, the production was a mosaic of challenge and triumph, creativity and camaraderie. The stories from the set reveal a community bound by passion and perseverance, where every obstacle became a shared puzzle and every success a collective celebration. These behind-the-scenes insights enrich our understanding of the film, reminding us that the magic we see is born from countless moments of dedication, connection, and unexpected joy. The story woven through this film is a vibrant tapestry of themes and symbols that ripple beneath the surface, inviting viewers to delve beyond the immediate thrill of action and adventure into a rich, emotional landscape. At its heart lies an exploration of identity, freedom, connection, and the eternal tension between light and shadow, elements that resonate through character arcs, narrative developments, and visual motifs, creating a multi-layered experience that rewards close attention and reflection. One of the film's most compelling thematic threads is the quest for identity, a journey both outward and inward. The protagonist, gifted with extraordinary speed and powers, grapples with what defines him beyond his abilities. Is he merely a force of nature, a blur streaking across the world, or does he possess a deeper self shaped by relationships, choices, and values? This tension is palpably expressed through moments of solitude and introspection, where the rush of motion slows and the character confronts his fears and hopes. The film thus presents identity as fluid and evolving, shaped by experience and connection rather than fixed essence. Freedom and responsibility emerge as intertwined themes, embodied most vividly in the protagonist's struggle. Speed symbolizes freedom, the ability to transcend boundaries, escape constraints, and move unbound through space and time. Yet this freedom is not absolute. It carries with it the weight of consequences and the need for ethical choices. The narrative arc charts a path from reckless flight to mindful action, illustrating that true freedom requires self-awareness and care for others. This evolution echoes broader human experiences, inviting viewers to consider how power and autonomy intersect with duty and empathy. Connection and belonging form another vital theme, explored through the relationships that anchor the story. The protagonist's bonds with his companions, the clever fox, the steadfast knight, and the visionary scientist, reflect diverse facets of trust, loyalty, and mutual support. These interactions underscore the film's message that heroism is not solitary but communal, thriving on collaboration and shared purpose. Moments of conflict and reconciliation within the group highlight the fragility and strength of relationships, emphasizing that connection demands vulnerability and courage. The tension between tradition and innovation is artfully dramatized through character dynamics and narrative developments. The knight's adherence to ancestral codes and rituals contrasts with the scientist's embrace of curiosity and change, embodying a dialogue about honoring the past while embracing the future. This theme resonates beyond the story, reflecting real-world debates about cultural heritage, technological progress, and ethical boundaries. The film neither champions one side unequivocally nor dismisses the other. Instead, it invites contemplation of balance and integration. Underlying these thematic strands is the motif of duality, the interplay of light and shadow, creation and destruction, order and chaos. The source, a central symbol, encapsulates this duality. It is depicted as a primal force that can both nurture and devastate, reflecting the ambivalence of power itself. The fragmented artifacts associated with the source symbolize fractured truths and the complexity of wholeness, suggesting that unity arises not from uniformity but from the harmonious integration of disparate parts. This symbolism enriches the narrative, providing layers of meaning that extend beyond the literal quest. Visual symbolism permeates the film, enhancing thematic resonance. Crystalline shards scattered throughout the story catch and refract light, representing fragmented identity and the potential for transformation. Labyrinthine spaces, twisting corridors and winding paths, serve as metaphors for the character's internal journeys, choices, and challenges. Natural elements, flowing water, flickering flames, shifting clouds, mirror emotional states and narrative shifts, linking human experience to the elemental forces of the world. Color plays a significant symbolic role. The protagonist's signature blue hue conveys vitality, energy, and a connection to the sky and sea, evoking freedom and depth. Contrasting colors, fiery reds associated with danger and passion, muted grays and blacks linked to mystery and uncertainty, guide emotional tone and foreshadow developments. Lighting design further enhances symbolism, with chiaroscuro effects highlighting moral ambiguity and character complexity. The film's soundscape supports thematic exploration. Musical motifs correspond to characters and ideas, weaving a sonic narrative that echoes visual and emotional currents. Rhythmic pulses evoke speed and urgency, while haunting melodies underscore introspection and longing. The interplay of silence and sound accentuates tension and release, inviting viewers into a multisensory engagement with theme. Narrative structure itself embodies thematic concerns. The cyclical pattern of quest and return reflects mythic archetypes, suggesting that growth involves recurring challenges and transformations. The story's pacing, alternating between rapid action and contemplative pauses, mirrors the tension between external adventure and internal reflection, underscoring the film's meditation on balance. Character arcs are deeply intertwined with themes and symbolism. The protagonist's evolution from a solitary speedster to a thoughtful leader encapsulates the journey from impulsivity to responsibility, from isolation to connection. The fox's mechanical tail symbolizes adaptation and resilience, a melding of nature and technology that reflects broader themes of change. The knight's armor represents both protection and constraint, highlighting the costs and gifts of tradition. The scientist's inventive spirit embodies curiosity and the pursuit of knowledge, tempered by ethical considerations. The antagonist's characterization engages with themes of power and corruption. Their quest to harness the source for control and order raises questions about the nature of authority and the dangers of absolutism. Their tragic backstory evokes empathy, complicating the moral landscape and inviting viewers to ponder the fine line between villainy and misguided idealism. Interpersonal dynamics often hinge on symbolic gestures and shared rituals, exchanges of tokens, moments of silence, mutual aid, that convey themes of trust and reconciliation beyond words. These subtle interactions deepen emotional resonance and underscore the film's emphasis on relationality. The film also incorporates metatextual symbolism. References to classical myths, literary works, and cultural motifs create a layered dialogue with tradition and audience expectations. These intertextual elements invite viewers to situate the film within a broader cultural and narrative context, enriching interpretive possibilities. In conclusion, the film's themes and symbolism form a dense, interwoven fabric that elevates the narrative beyond entertainment into a space of reflection and emotional truth. Through its exploration of identity, freedom, connection, power, and transformation, the story resonates on multiple levels, inviting audiences to engage with both heart and mind. The symbolic language, visual, auditory, narrative, deepens this engagement, making the film a richly rewarding experience that lingers long after the credits roll. The filmmaking of this production stands as a testament to the power of technique and innovation to breathe life into story, transforming scripted words and concepts into a vivid, immersive cinematic experience. Every frame, every note of sound, every cut and camera angle was meticulously crafted to not only tell the tale but to draw viewers into its heartbeat, making them feel the rush of speed, the weight of emotion, and the depth of meaning that underpin the narrative. Exploring these filmmaking techniques reveals how art and technology entwine seamlessly to shape the film's distinctive atmosphere and emotional impact. At the heart of the film's visual language is the director's visionary approach to cinematography. Recognizing that speed was not merely a plot device but a character in its own right, the cinematographer and director collaborated closely to devise ways to visually embody velocity and motion. Traditional steady shots were often abandoned in favor of fluid tracking shots, whip pans, and dynamic crane movements that mimic the protagonist's blur of energy. High-speed cameras captured scenes at frame rates far beyond standard filming, allowing for slow-motion sequences that reveal the intricate beauty and intensity hidden within moments of rapid action. These slow-motion glimpses are not mere spectacle but narrative pauses that deepen emotional connection and thematic resonance. The use of drones and custom rigs revolutionized the depiction of chase sequences and landscapes. Lightweight, agile drones navigated tight spaces and complex terrains, offering perspectives that had previously been challenging or impossible. This technology enabled sweeping aerial shots that immersed audiences in expansive vistas and vertiginous heights, contrasting with intimate ground-level views that captured raw human emotion. The interplay of macro and micro perspectives creates a visual rhythm that mirrors the story's oscillation between epic scope and personal stakes. Lighting design played a pivotal role in sculpting the film's mood and tone. The director of photography employed a sophisticated palette of lighting techniques to underscore narrative beats. Soft, warm lighting envelopes scenes of camaraderie and introspection, imbuing them with a sense of intimacy and hope. Conversely, stark, high-contrast lighting accentuates moments of conflict and tension, casting long shadows that visually manifest moral ambiguity and danger. Color temperature shifts throughout the film guide viewers' emotional journey. Cool blues and purples dominate scenes of mystery and reflection, while fiery reds and oranges ignite sequences charged with passion and peril. Production design complements these choices, creating immersive environments that feel tangible and layered. Sets blend natural textures, wood, stone, fabric, with futuristic materials and lighting elements, bridging the gap between the ancient and the modern. Attention to detail ensures that every prop, costume, and backdrop serves not just aesthetic but narrative functions, embedding symbolism and character insights. For example, the protagonist's suit incorporates reflective materials that catch light dynamically, visually reinforcing themes of speed and transformation. Sound design and music further elevate the cinematic experience. The soundscape is a richly layered composition of ambient noises, effects, and score, designed to immerse viewers fully. Field recordings, rustling leaves, distant thunder, urban hum, anchor scenes in sensory reality. Foley artists meticulously crafted sounds for footsteps, impacts, and mechanical devices, sometimes blending natural and synthetic elements to produce unique auditory textures. One particularly striking example is the sound of the protagonist's movement, a complex blend of wind, rapid footfalls, and electrical pulses that conveys the sensation of blinding speed. The musical score is a dynamic fusion of orchestral grandeur and electronic motifs. The composer utilized a leitmotif system, assigning themes to characters and ideas that evolve alongside the narrative. This approach weaves a sonic narrative that parallels the visual and emotional arcs, with crescendos and silences punctuating moments of action and reflection. The score's rhythmic pulses echo the heartbeat of the film, synchronizing with editing beats and camera movement to heighten immersion. Editing techniques are crucial in maintaining the film's pacing and emotional clarity. The editors skillfully balance rapid cuts during high-energy sequences with extended takes that allow for character development and mood setting. Cross-cutting between simultaneous actions builds tension and underscores thematic parallels. The manipulation of temporal flow, using slow motion, flashbacks, and jump cuts, deepens narrative complexity and viewer engagement. Editors worked closely with visual effects supervisors to ensure seamless integration of CGI elements, preserving narrative coherence and visual continuity. The integration of visual effects is both ambitious and artful. The VFX team developed proprietary software tools to simulate the protagonist's speed and the distortion of time and space. Particle effects, light trails, and dynamic environmental changes were designed to enhance storytelling without overwhelming live-action elements. Collaborative workflows between animators, compositors, and cinematographers ensured that digital enhancements complemented practical footage, creating a cohesive visual style. Camera work also utilizes innovative framing and lens choices. Wide-angle lenses capture expansive environments and amplify the sense of scale, while telephoto lenses isolate characters, intensifying emotional focus. Dutch angles and tilted frames appear subtly in moments of disorientation or moral complexity, visually cueing psychological states. Handheld camera movements convey immediacy and vulnerability, particularly in intimate or chaotic scenes, fostering a sense of presence. The film's use of color grading is instrumental in shaping its visual identity. Through post-production processes, colors are adjusted to reflect narrative tone and emotional subtext. Cooler palettes evoke mystery and melancholy. Warmer hues suggest hope and vitality. The gradation of color across scenes creates visual cohesion while allowing for thematic contrasts. In terms of box office production, the film benefited from a well-coordinated marketing and distribution strategy that leveraged its technical innovation and emotional depth. Advanced trailers highlighted signature visual effects and action sequences, appealing to fans of high-octane spectacle, while interviews and featurettes emphasized the story's thematic richness and character complexity, broadening audience appeal. International release schedules and partnerships ensured widespread accessibility, contributing to robust box office performance. Cross-platform promotions incorporated immersive experiences, virtual reality previews, interactive web content, and behind-the-scenes documentaries that engaged audiences in novel ways. This multifaceted approach created anticipation and sustained interest throughout the film's release window. In sum, the filmmaking techniques deployed in this production are integral to its storytelling power. From cinematography and lighting to sound, editing, and visual effects, each element is thoughtfully orchestrated to serve narrative and emotional objectives. These techniques craft a cinematic atmosphere that is both exhilarating and profound, inviting viewers into a sensory and intellectual journey that resonates long after the credits roll. The synergy between innovative technology and artistic vision exemplifies contemporary filmmaking's potential to transform stories into immersive, impactful experiences. The film's vibrant world comes alive not only through its captivating narrative and stunning visuals but also through the voices and performances of its cast, whose dedication and insight imbue the characters with depth and resonance. Behind the scenes, interviews with these actors offer windows into their creative processes.